All right. I think we're live. Can you tell by the excitement in my voice, everybody? Can you guys tell that I'm super excited about this?
We are.
And I had to restart the motherfucker. Okay, so we got a blank screen. Don't worry. I know it's a blank screen, everybody. You know what? I need the intro music. Here, you guys ready?
It should just be a close-up of the beard. Oh, hey, there we are.
See, there you go. There you go. And I need to get back into the vibe. You ready? You guys gotta drop that beat with me.
Drop the funky beat.
Oh, and now we will wait ever so patiently for people to rejoin. My apologies. I do now know that I'm going to invest in a better capture card to get around that stupid copyright material, because that's the thing. When we're on this monitor, when we're on this screen right here, that picture.
That's a beach.
I took that fucking picture. Well, so here's what happens. Let me kind of try to explain it to you guys. So the reason you run two PCs is, and now granted, both of my PCs are pretty, they're souped up. Like, they're both really good computers. But especially if you're gaming or doing anything that's going to be super intensive on it, you don't want to be running that all on one PC. So I stream from one and I do all the rest of the work from the other one. And AverMedia obviously has the issue with, they are, decide that they are just going to do this copyright thing, which is complete hot fucking garbage. That pisses me off. Because what'll happen is, when I have OBS, that's the system that I run from, that I use to stream, as that's going, let me get some. What kind of? Oh, here we go. So here's how I rig up the system. Oh fuck! Oh, turn on. So here's how we rig up the system here on the live stream, everybody. So what you do is you take your one computer. I can't do that. It's gonna kill my voice. I can already feel it hurting my voice. So what happens is, if I have the streaming software open and I'm actually working on stuff that has copyrighted material, it reads that and it goes, "Oh, that's copyright." And then that's where I get that error message. But thank you, everybody, for coming back. It's much appreciated. As we're going to get to rolling on here, we still have a lot of fun stuff. Because that's the thing.
Big River.
We've got college football predictions coming up today, man. And I got to show the logos and all the other shit. And I got to show the beard, like the big old, like goofy Mario Cristobal picture that I have of him looking like an idiot. I don't have that, actually. No.
It could just be any of them.
That's true. That's true. It could be any of the head coaches. All right, but there you go. So welcome back. Nightmare's already here. I see that we actually already have a group of people back here, so I do appreciate the patience and everything. And we're going to get to maybe some things you didn't know.
Welcome back, Carter.
All right, it is time for things you didn't know, or maybe you did. Maybe you're a smart human being, or maybe you were into the same weird crap that we're going to be talking about. So first one we're talking about today is now it's not registering.
You broke it.
The picture's
Round two.
The picture's up on my monitor. Where did it fucking go? There we go.
Hey.
Oh, wrong button.
The whole system is breaking down.
There's a glitch in the Matrix.
All right, so what we're talking about, obviously, WWE Smackdown. I appreciate everybody's patience. Big credit to Wrestle News 365. I swiped your picture here as it goes through all the different logos through time of SmackDown, because SmackDown debuted August 26th, 1999. 25 years ago. Now, there was a special event before that, before the August 26th broadcast, on April 29th, where they used just a WWE Raw set, and it was intended to compete with what? Do you guys remember?
Thunder?
Atta kid, Frank. I knew I could always count on you, my man. WCW Thunder. That was the...
I actually went to a live event, Thunder, that came here in town. That was wild.
Really?
Yeah, it's because most of the shows were recorded, but
Yeah, Nitro was live. Thunder was Thunder was usually pre-recorded.
No, Thunder was live at that time. And because it was weird because they would go to commercial and then they'd have like a hype man in the ring when they're coming back, and he'd be talking to the crowd and he'd go, "All right, we're 25 seconds. Let's all get hyped up, everybody." And he'd want the crowd super like jacked up for
Well, they do that even for
commercial.
they do that for the recorded ones as well.
I had never been to that before. It was something different for me.
It was a whole new world. Now, do you guys know where the SmackDown name came from?
The Rock?
That would be my guess too. Would be The Rock.
Yeah. He kind of
claimed
gets
it as
the
his
credit
show.
for it. Yeah, The Rock he's been given credit for it for the layeth, the smacketh down. And so yeah,
What a
that's
time.
The Rock went to
kind of where it came from. Now, in the original planning phase of WWE Smackdown, it was going to be all female wrestlers, a la Glow, if you will. This obviously didn't happen because they didn't have the female roster for it. Like, there wasn't enough there for them
Vince
to
didn't
sustain a
think
weekly
they could
show.
wrestle. That's why.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of like really good female wrestlers.
They were just there to shake their boobs and bend over. That's all Vince wanted them to do.
Yeah, pretty
And
much.
Now you know why. Look at the trouble he's in.
Least surprising thing ever. Well, and SmackDown was actually the beginning of Michael Cole as the play-by-play announcer. He had been doing some backstage work at Raw is War, and then he ended up getting teamed up with, who was the first one he teamed up with? Jerry the King Lawler. And then it was after that.
Picture of him looked fantastic.
It was after that he ended up doing whatchamacallit. Who joined him? Taz. After a while. Taz did. All right, give me 1 second here. I'm gonna fiddle around with another setting. Let's
fiddle with the settings. Make sure you fiddle them
that's
good.
gonna go real stinking well here.
I was gonna say that first picture you had of Michael Cole made it look like somebody was giving him the old skitty doo underneath what we could not see.
Anna says the girl in front looks like Reba McEntire. Are you talking about Glow here? Are you talking about her? Because that's little Annie from Community.
Never seen Glow.
Great show. First season, phenomenal. After that, eh. All right. Can you name the first title change on SmackDown?
Nope.
It was the Hardcore title. And this, do you remember this storyline? Because it was really, really screwed up. So on August 23rd, 1999, on a Raw, Big Boss Man stole Al Snow's dog, Pepper. Do you remember this, Frank?
I kind of do, but at the same time, I don't.
Then on SmackDown on September 2nd, 1999, Boss Man made Al Snow dinner to apologize for kidnapping his dog.
Oh yeah, and he cooked him. Yeah,
and
that
later
was like
revealed
a big
that the dinner
controversy.
was the dog.
Yeah. Like
Welcome-
Peter got super pissed about that.
Yeah, dude. Welcome to the Attitude Era of WWE, man. So ultimately, this spat would end up having they'd have a Hardcore Championship, and Big Boss Man ended up winning the Hardcore title on SmackDown.
Interesting.
And eventually, SmackDown would help with the WWE's bloated roster because obviously when they purchased WCW, it doubled the amount of wrestlers.
Yeah.
And so down the road, what they were able to do is they did that whole Raw versus SmackDown thing where they had the draft and you picked different wrestlers and so on and so forth. And that's how that whole thing went. And do you guys remember this?
The fist.
The
Yeah.
fist!
Some people want him to bring it back.
Well, so here's why they got rid of it. The SmackDown Fist, which debuted in the early 2000s, was taken out in 2008 because WWE was looking to convert everything into HD, and they didn't think that the Fist translated well in high def.
Huh.
So that's the reason why they got rid of the Fist.
I thought it would have just been like a bitch to move and keep putting up every day.
Well, I mean, they moved Mark Henry around, right? So
Hey, he kind of moved
Hey-oh,
himself. though.
fat jokes, everybody. Hey, body shaming. Don't do it. All right. And finally, the show has moved around a lot. What? And finally, the show's moved around a lot. Remember, it started on UPN, and then it went to the CW, then it went to My Network TV, then it went to Sci-Fi. Remember that? It was on Sci-Fi for a while.
Yeah, I remember it being on I forget My Network. I don't know what the hell that was. But I remember it being on Sci-Fi.
And then it went to USA, and now I believe it's currently on Fox and FS1.
It's about to, I think, leave Fox, isn't it? Like,
I think so.
The way they redid their whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I try to keep up with it. I'm really, honestly, I'm, and I say this all the time. I'm more fascinated with wrestling of the past than I am of today. And that even includes, like, now 5 years ago, I'm interested in what happened 5 years ago. I wouldn't watch it live, but I'll track down everything they do now because all of that stuff just absolutely fascinates me. But that's going to do it for WWE Smackdown. All right.
Schmackety deckety.
Next up on Things You Didn't Know. Natural Born Killers. And here's something that bothers me. I've met her. I've met Juliette Lewis. Yeah. I've met Juliette Lewis. I always forget all the amazing roles actors were in when I actually meet them. Because I was usually the producer, so I'm not gearing up to do the interviews or anything.
You get starstruck?
Huh?
You get starstruck and just go blank?
No, I just don't really think about it. Like, in all honesty, the one role I should have remembered her for was Christmas Vacation. Which, by the way, check this out.
Uh-oh.
Check this, dude. You seen this yet?
Oh, yeah. Is that an advent calendar?
It's a Christmas Vacation advent calendar at Costco.
Hey, honey, if you're watching, I want one.
Hell yeah, dude. All right, we're going to start this over. You ready? Because I clipped these out, so we're going to start this one over. We're going to get Natural Born Killers.
Take two.
Take two. All right, things you didn't know about Natural Born Killers. The movie was released August 26th, 1994. It made $110 million at the box office on a $34 million budget. Do you guys know who wrote the original script for Natural Born Killers?
Quentin Tarantino.
Fucking ding, 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 buddy. Yeah, it was Quentin Tarantino, and his script focused more on the media rather than Mickey and Mallory. He could not get the movie made for himself, so he sold the rights for like $10,000.
Yeah, and didn't want his name attached to it because he thought because of the way it was rewritten.
Now, some other actors that were up for some of the roles include Detective Scagnetti, who was played by Tom Sizemore. Look at that hair.
That hair's on boost the hell up, dude.
James Woods and Gary Oldman were actually considered for this role.
I could see Gary Oldman doing it.
And for the role of Mickey, which obviously was played by Woody Harrelson, Michael Madsen was considered for that. And I think some of that might have had to do with Reservoir Dogs and cutting off a cop's ear. But he claims that the studio ended up offering Oliver Stone an extra $20 million to go get Woody Harrelson for the part. At least that's what Michael Madsen did.
Free Willy.
Yeah. And don't forget, Iron Man is in the movie. Robert Downey Jr. the part of Wayne Gale was partially patterned after Geraldo Rivera. They actually looked into having Geraldo Rivera play that part. Obviously, it went to Robert Downey Jr. Now, Downey Jr. ended up spending time with a current affair reporter, Steve Dunleavy, and his producer, Wayne Darwin. And they're considered the ones that he ended up sort of patterning that role after.
You know what random just memory popped in my head is when the movie was being promoted. I remember being home one day and Regis and Kathy Lee was on, and Regis was just crapping on how violent and gory the movie was and how nobody should go see it because of how crap. And I guess apparently it caused like a little bit of a farce between him and Oliver Stone.
A kerfuffle?
And I think Oliver Stone was like on that day as well and was like kind of like calling him out on it. But yeah, like Regis crapped all over that movie.
Yeah, that's not awkward at all. Yep, so there you go. Robert Downey Jr. And then also don't forget Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah.
So he wasn't given a script. Oliver Stone just told him that he's going to play the father from hell, and Rodney Dangerfield came up with all the lines.
He played himself.
Man,
I get no respect.
Look, if you want to, like, have you ever seen the stuff from the end of his life? The weird things that he got into, and it's really sad because you can tell that people were taking advantage of him with the fact that he was getting older and he was kind of losing it upstairs. And finally, at the end of the movie, if you remember, they survive. The killers survive. And then that's because Oliver Stone believed that the 90s were a time when the bad guys would get away. However, there was an alternate ending where they both die.
All right. The anti-heroes.
Remember who they kill in this scene?
Is it Downey Jr.?
It is Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, he's standing right. He's back off, where they're pointing the guns and stuff, and he's trying to tell them like we could do this and we could do this, and they were like, "Nah, we're good," and they just unload on him with the shotguns.
Who were they based off? Like which? Like actual? Wasn't there like an actual like? The kids, the two kids from like Oklahoma or something like that. One like in the 50s, there was like an 18-year-old boy and like a 16-year-old girl, and they went around killing for fun. I thought that's what that was based off of. Like,
it says here the main characters are said to be based on Charles Starkweather and Carol Fugate.
Yeah, that's them.
They went on a killing spree through the Midwest in 1958, and the same couple inspired Terrence Malick's Badlands as well.
There you go.
Look at Frank dropping some knowledge.
Boom! The more you know. Where's that sound effect?
Hold on.
The more you know, killers.
Yeah, right here. Now the more you know, courtesy of Frank. All right. Things you didn't know, video game style this time. Batman Arkham Asylum. Did either of you guys play any of the
No, but
Arkham
I know
games?
you did. You loved the hell out of that game. I remember trying to get you off that game.
I was never a big video game guy.
It's so good. So good.
When he got into that, he would join our group. We were playing all the other games, and he was still just playing Arkham. He would not get off of that at all.
It was so good. I loved Arkham Asylum.
It's amazing. But...
It's easily my favorite. I think a lot of people is Arkham City is their favorite or considered better. Me, Arkham Asylum was just, it was beautiful. Absolutely loved it. So it was released on August 25th, 2009. So it was 15 years ago. Good God. Now, Arkham Asylum actually made its first appearance in October 1974, issue number 258 of Batman, and it was originally called Arkham Hospital. See that right now.
Didn't they do that in a Joker movie too? Call it Arkham Hospital?
Is that what they called it? The one with
I think so.
The one with Joaquin.
Yeah. I think it's like Arkham Hospital in the movie as well.
So a lot of inspiration for Arkham Asylum actually comes from Arkham, Massachusetts, which is a fictional town.
Okay.
Which is basically the backdrop for H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu mythos. Seriously, like, yeah.
The squid guy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
never really put two and two together on that one, but there you go. Also, so on the onto the video game here, the makers of the game wanted it to not only be the best Batman video game, but also the best Batman story. So they really pushed to get Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, Batman and Joker. And then they also brought in Paul Dini. He was one of the lead writers, and he helped create and write Batman the Animated Series.
Nice.
One of the things that took the longest time for the Batman video game was getting his cape right. Because they wanted it, they wanted it to flow and look realistic, and they wanted it to tear and have all these other things kind of going on. So it took 2 years to accomplish Batman's cape in Batman Arkham Asylum. And Mark Hamill was not going to be the voice of the Joker in Arkham Knight, which was one of the future games. Because in all reality, that voice was putting a real strain, or doing that voice really strained his voice.
Right.
But then he found out that there was going to be a musical number by the Joker, and that sold him on it. That brought him in. He wanted to do it at that point. Now, an interesting little side note here. In Arkham Knight, if you use detective mode on Barbara Gordon, you can actually see where her spine is damaged from where she was shot by the Joker in The Killing Joke.
That's a little weird.
That's called detail, my friend. And this right here is obviously the comic where Barbara Gordon gets shot, and it actually, that's where she ends up paralyzed. And finally, the whole Batman Arkham series was created because EA failed and bombed with that game.
Batman Begins.
Yeah. So EA had the rights to Batman, and then when they just completely shat the bed on this, the rights then went back to Warner, and then they gave the rights to Batman to Rocksteady, who then eventually made the Arkham series, the best Batman games we've ever seen. I'm telling you, the game was the shit. All right, things you didn't know, 1980s, kind of 90s edition.
All right.
I'm going to ask you guys, did you either of you own a pair of these pants?
Yeah.
Were they Florida? You both did?
Yeah, I had multiple.
Oh, okay. Did you? Okay, so Beard, did you have any Miami Hurricanes?
I did not. I had those Chicago Bulls ones right there.
Okay. What about?
And don't remember what other ones, but I definitely had those Bulls ones.
What about you, Frank? Did you have Florida State?
Yeah, we had the Florida State ones, and you had the rip-off ones where everybody just kind of copied, and we had the neon pink and orange and yellow ones like that. But yeah.
So if you're not familiar, these are called Zubaz. And in 1988, Bob Truax and Dan Stock came up with the idea for a comfortable pair of shorts for heavy lifting. So they actually started as shorts, not pants. But this was really sort of the main product, I guess, is what you would call it, where it's actually the pants. They were huge in the NFL. Like NFL players everywhere wore these stinking things. So in 1991, the company sold $100 million worth of products. Wrap your brain around that. They ended up branching out from shorts. Obviously, they did long pants like you can see right here. They also did caps, shirts, and Nightmare. Or I'm sorry, Nightmare. I was looking at the YouTube chat. Not Nightmare, diapers.
Nightmare has been confused.
No, I looked over at the YouTube chat and I saw Anna posted something over. She said, right, Nightmare? So I was like, shit. No, diapers. They made legitimately diapers. Now, the company actually designed the uniforms for some Arena Football League teams. Do you know who those might have been, Frank?
Tiger Sharks?
No, the Tampa Bay Storm.
Look at that.
Huh? And do you know who that is?
Oof. That's Dilfer.
No. Jay Gruden.
Oh, is that Jay?
That's Jay Gruden. I swear to God, that's Jay Gruden, dude. So they did that. They created it for the Tampa Bay Storm. They also did it for the New Orleans Knight as well. And then in 1993, there was an article that came out in Inside Sports, and it was called Worst Things to Happen to Sports. Number one was Michael Jordan retiring because that was 1993. Number two was the death of wrestler Dino Bravo. Neither of those are Dino Bravo, so don't think I'm saying
Those
that.
are Road Warriors.
Yeah. And then number three was Zubaz. Of the worst things to happen to sports. So the original business, they went bankrupt in 1996. It then
resurfaced. After selling $100 million in sales,
just a few years before. And then it resurfaced in 2007 on a smaller scale, and then it came back in full in 2014. So finally, 2008, the independent professional baseball team, the St. Paul Saints, they wore Zubaz pants during a game. Christopher Daniels and Kazarian wore pink and black Zubaz on TNA Impact. I tried to find a picture of them doing that, couldn't find it. The Russian curling team wore Zubaz pants in the 2014 Olympics.
Oh, check those things out.
And finally, in 2017, the Detroit Tigers were rocking it with these Zubaz pants.
Oh, Lord.
Although I'm thinking that this picture might be earlier because that's Torrey Hunter, and I don't believe he was playing in 2017. But Zubaz, baby, I'm serious. Go back and watch the Miami Dolphins early 90s rap song that they did.
Yeah.
And they're all wearing
it.
Zubaz, man. Everybody's wearing Zubaz.
That was big in Miami, those colors and everything, man. It was huge.
All right. Now, I hope you guys are excited because college football technically kicks off this weekend. They're calling it Week 0.
The Week 0 games.
The big one, obviously, that you have Delaware State taking on Hawaii at
9 o'clock at night, right?
Wow, what a game.
I think it's Delaware State. Is it Delaware State?
Yeah, it is Delaware
Oh,
State.
okay, I got it right. Because they missed their flight. They were supposed to take like a 10.5-hour flight to Hawaii, and they missed it. But no, the big one, obviously, coming up here Week 0, you have Florida State taking on Georgia Tech. That's going to be over in Dublin, Ireland. But here's what we're going to do. I have Spano's picks. The Beard is going to give me his picks. Frank is going to give me his picks. I'm going to put a post up about this later. Obviously, you'll be able to come back and check out this video. And then we're going to revisit the picks at the end of the season. Now, we're going to choose who's going to win each major conference. Now, we're talking about winning the conference championship, not winning the regular season. Like, whoever's in first place at the end of the regular season. You got to win the conference title game. Whoever does that. And then we're going to talk about, or we're going to predict who's going to be in the national title game, who's going to win the national championship, and then as a cherry on top, who they think is going to win the Heisman Trophy. So first and foremost, Frank, who is going to be your Big Ten champion?
It's Ohio State.
The old Buckeyes. All right. So Beard.
Peters.
Huh? Oh, you're cheaters.
Peters.
Oh, good Lord. Beard is still upset about that game that was over 20 years ago.
22 years ago.
Yeah. All right. So Beard, who is your Big Ten champ?
Literally just because I could never give Ohio State any credit, I'm going to say Michigan.
He's going Michigan. You're defending champions. Now, Spano's pick, he didn't go with either one. Which one do you guys think that he went with?
He went with Oregon, probably. Right?
Damn straight, baby. The Duck.
That was my second pick.
He went with the Duck. All right. Moving on to the SEC. Frank, who's your pick?
The SEC, we have old Georgia and those dumbass dogs.
Beard, who's your pick?
Yeah, I went with Georgia as well.
And that would also be the same one that Spano went with as well, as he went with the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia's going to be good this year, man. I think they're going to be scary good. All right, moving on to the ACC. Actually, you know what? Hold on. We're going to do ACC last because Frank is a Florida State fan and the Beard is a Miami fan. And so with them both being in the ACC, I want to put a pin in that one. So we're actually going to go to the Big 12. Frank, who's your Big 12 champ?
I went with Utah.
The Utes.
The Utes.
Brand new Big 12.
Did you say Utes?
Yeah, that's
Or
Utes. 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 All right, so he's going Utah. Beard, who are you going with for the Big 12 champ?
So I'm going out on a limb here, and I'm going with Colorado.
Going Colorado. I would not trust Colorado at all. I think they're going to be maybe 500.
Oh, I think Deion's going to have a good year.
Do you know what the over-under is for them?
Nope.
It's like 5 wins.
That's fine.
Hey, but here's the thing. If you get it right, that's huge, buddy. This is how you win. All right, so Spano, talking about the Big 12. Win. Spano, that's how you win the bets. Spano went with Kansas State.
Kansas State. Okay.
So we got 3 different ones right there for the Big 12. Now we're moving on to the ACC. I'm going to go with the Beard. Who are you picking to win the ACC?
The one, the only, the
University of Clemson. No, of course he's going the Miami Hurricanes. All right, Frank, who are you going with?
Homer pick. Just gonna go with Florida State.
And he's going Florida State right there, baby. And who do you guys think Spano went with?
He probably went with Clemson, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I as a
because he wouldn't pick. He wouldn't
pick
pick Miami or Florida State, so he's gonna go
he's
to
a Gator
the school.
Yeah, no, he ended up. I'm surprised he didn't go North Carolina. You know, they'll go win the championship after Drake May leaves and becomes a New England Patriot. All right, so now we're moving on to. So those are who are going to win all the conferences. So now we want to get to who's going to be in the national title game. You could obviously pick anybody because you don't have to win the conference to make it into the playoff. This is going to be the great thing with having a 12-team playoff this year, is that you don't have to win your conference and you can still sneak in to the actual playoff. Florida State can go undefeated again and be number 13 in the nation and not
make it again.
Well, no, that's the thing. They get it.
They ain't going undefeated.
They would get an automatic berth. If anybody who goes undefeated, you win your conference championship game, you're automatically in.
They'd find a way to keep any ACC team out. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah. I mean, when your conference spells ACK,
so
it just means they're going to go choke it out.
Florida went 6-5. Nah, they get in before any ACC team because they're SEC.
I do have something heartbreaking to tell you, because in all honesty, if there was a team that was on the outside of last year's playoff that could and should have been in, it was Georgia. I still think Georgia was the best team last year, and I think that if
their Alabama game would have solved all those damn problems.
Well, Florida needs to get the hell out, or Florida State needs to get the hell out of the ACC. All right, here we go. Who's going to make the final? Frank, who's going to be in the national championship game?
I have Ohio State and Georgia.
Going out on a limb, choosing the preseason number 1 and number 2 teams. All right, Ohio State and Georgia. Beard, who you going with?
I have Georgia as well, but I have them going against the U.
Can you tell that the Beard's a homer yet? And then Spano's pick for the national title game, he is going with Georgia. And who do you think he has playing Georgia?
Oregon.
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, I wish I would have had like a Notre Dame picture or something that I could throw up there just to throw you guys off.
Gross.
Although I did actually, you know what? Nobody picked anything for Texas.
They keep losing guys. I think they lost like both their starting running backs.
Yeah, their running back, the backfield is just depleted at this point. All right, so now we've gotten through who is going to be in the national title game. So who do you think is going to win the national title, Frank?
Well, I have Ohio State winning because I'm pretty sure Georgia's going to have like 6 or 7 guys arrested for, drunk driving and driving over the speed limit and everything, and then we'll be out of that game.
All right. Beard, who you going with?
I mean, you really want me to say it? Because we all know.
Oh,
it's the U.
Oh, look at that.
We're back, baby. It's our year.
No, you're not. And so who do you think Spano picked as his national champion?
Oh, he went with the SEC.
Georgia.
He's a SEC homer, right?
He is an SEC homer.
Oh, he flipped?
But he went with Oregon.
Look at him, he flipped.
Wow.
And I asked him, like, when he sent me his picks, I was like, dude, are you just kissing ass right now, knowing that I'm a Duck fan?
Probably.
And he's like, no. He's
Georgia.
like, I think they had a good shot. And then he even did say, he's like, it's kind of a toss-up between Oregon and Georgia, I think is what he said.
Georgia.
All right, now we're going on to Heisman Trophy wieners. And we're going to go with, I'll start with Spano. He's going with kind of one of the favorites right now, and it would be Georgia. He's going with Carson Beck. Beard, who do you think is going to win the Heisman Trophy?
I mean, there's only one choice. It's Cam Ward.
Good God. You're going to be so disappointed this year.
A man's going to put up 5,036 touchdowns, 2 picks. He's going to run for another 10.
I'm telling you, not with Cristobal, dude. They're still going to try to run the
Ward's
ball.
real.
And when all they have to do is kneel. All they had to do was kneel.
I knew you were going to go there.
Now, Frank, who are you choosing as your Heisman Trophy winner?
I wanted to go with the field as if it was somebody that wasn't a pick, but I decided
he went with Cam Ward.
No, we went with Carson Beck.
Well, no, I was going to give you the field.
I mean, yeah.
I'll let you.
If I'm going anywhere, it's going with the field. It's going to be somebody that's not on that list right now. There's always like that dark horse that just comes out of nowhere and takes over.
And that's kind of what I was going to put in the post when I do it. So when we get to that point, you guys will see that where it's just going to be kind of a question mark because it's going to be an unknown. It's not going to be any of the favorites because I believe the betting favorite right now is Dylan Gabriel from Oregon. And then obviously you have Carson Beck and some of the other big name guys in there as well. But Frank is going with somebody who not quite known right
It's gonna
now.
be
and-
Iowa's punter.
oh my God! If there is anybody who's going to be the greatest college football player, it's going to be their punter. All right, so that's the predictions. We're going to revisit this coming up at the end of the season. We're going to see how we do. So make sure you guys stick around for that. Now it's time to get to some. Where is it here? It's time for 90s trivia. We're going to go to the first with 7 points. So Frank only needs 3. The beard needs 5. Are you ready?
Okay. Ready.
Ready?
And whoever wins gets to pick first in the Sean Connery movie draft. Oh, I forget. I got to get
Dario.
fucking glasses. Hold on.
Get your glasses, old man.
God. Fucking hate this. Anyway. I gotta remember where we left off here. What the fuck is this?
Hold on, I'll get my glasses too.
Nerd. All right, we're gonna start. Since Beard is behind, we're gonna start with you. The fossil of Sue the T-Rex, the most complete T-Rex ever uncovered, was found in 1990 in what U.S. state? Also home to Mount Rushmore.
I should know that. I have no idea. Montana.
Oh shit, wrong button. That doesn't sound like Montana. Frank, got a guess?
You know, that was my first thought would have been Montana, but it's South Dakota.
It is South Dakota.
The Mount Rushmore gave it away.
Yeah. All right. So Frank, you only need 2 more points here. What cuddly, robotic, big-eyed creature hit the shelves in 1998, eager to have humans teach them how to speak their language?
Oh, I can picture it. I just can't think of its name. Little stupid gremlin-looking thing. Furby.
Damn, pulled that one out of your ass.
I almost said Herbie for some reason.
Herbie. That's Herbie Hancock. The must-have toy topped $40 million in sales in its first 3 years. I worked with a lady that bought like as many of those as she could. She was a collect because she anticipated those being like Beanie Babies.
Yeah.
And so she thought it was like, well, I'm going to buy them now and then I can flip them for a sale later. All right, Frank only needs 1 more point, so we're back to you, Beard. What early 90s Broadway play told the story of an American GI and a young Vietnamese woman, separated in 1975 and later reunited?
You couldn't give me Furby?
I just go in order of the cards, man.
Furby. I have no
All right,
idea.
Furby, no. Frank, any ideas?
No, I have no idea.
Is it weird the only thing that popped into my brain right now was Frank Costanza? And you remember when he goes into the nail place? Because Elaine's like, I think they're talking behind my back. And he's like, well, I know. Korean, I think, is actually what that was.
Yeah, it was a Korean.
And then he finds the lady that he fell in love with over there. The actual name is Miss Saigon. It won Tonys for Best Leading Actress, Best Leading Actor, and the Best Featured Actor.
All right,
we're on to you there, Frank. You get this one right, you get to pick first. What 44-year-old baseball pitcher threw his 7th and final no-hitter in 1991?
Nolan Ryan.
Knew that one also.
Wow, that was quick. Nolan Ryan, he set the record with Sandy Koufax in 2nd place with 4 at the time. All right. Gentlemen. Frank, is there anything that you would like to say on your victory lap?
Fart, poop, skippity-doo.
See, this is the kind of... So the Beard's kid wants to get into, like, broadcasting and video editing. This is the stuff that they can learn.
How to make things fart.
How to make fart jokes and how to hit the wrong button and how to just have Spano go.
I ate a gummy.
All right, let me get things set up here. This always reminds me, that song always reminds me of like when you would do the Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. I remember the big one was the Mario and Sonic at the Olympics Tokyo, because it was like 2008. It was those Summer Olympics.
Oh,
And, you know, you
Lord.
had the thing, you'd run like this.
It's like you're having a friggin' spasm.
I was so good at those games. All right, it's time to wrap stuff up.
Wrap it up.
All right, it is movie draft time. Sean Connery, ladies and gentlemen. Born August 25th, 1930. Of course, unfortunately, he did pass away a few years ago. Frank, you got a Sean Connery impersonation?
I do. I love some Sean Connery.
All right, so Frank, you get to pick first. What is going to be your first Sean Connery movie?
I'm going with the one that made him the international sex symbol, Dr. No, from the first James Bond.
Right there, it even says it on the poster. First James Bond film.
Those movies are so campy and still so awesome.
I chose the wrong goddamn music for this.
Oh, do you have some Sean Connery music?
No, I wish I
I
did.
do slap my wife around from time to time because she deserves it.
All right, Beard.
I give her a slap like this.
All right.
All right, Beard. What's your follow that? What's your first pick?
I'm gonna go with Indiana Jones and Last Crusade.
God damn it! That was gonna be my first pick. I friggin' love that movie. The movie is
You just
amazing.
slapped it like I slapped my wife.
All right, we'll go Last Crusade.
You never see that interview where he talked about how he smacks his wife? Like in the late
yes.
80s?
And have you ever seen? Now, on a side note, have you also ever seen? It's a more recent interview with Liam Neeson, and he's talking about equal pay for women.
Yeah. He's like, no.
And yeah, and they're like, well, would you give up some of
No.
your salary to guarantee that a woman gets equal pay? And he goes, no.
No.
All right, my first pick for the Sean Connery movie draft.
The Rock. You're bashed.
Good pick.
You're bashed. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
There you go. That's the best line right there. What do I want to go with number 2 though? This is the problem. I didn't really like. I got so busy downloading all the pictures and everything. Actually, no, fuck it. Here we go. I'm going Highlander.
Nice.
Highlander, because there can be only one. All right, we're back to you, Baird. What's your second choice, my man?
I'm gonna go with The Untouchables.
Ooh.
Nice.
I do have that picture, except it's actually I think it was from last week, wasn't it, Frank?
Yeah, that was from De Niro.
Was that last week? Yeah, that was De Niro,
Yeah,
right?
De Niro.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Shit, what?
Oh shit! What is that? Oh shit! What? That is a mess, boys. I want that cleaned up. Here's your Untouchables, by the way. All right. He's got Untouchables. Frank, you get to go back to back here, my man. What are you picking?
The first one, and I love this because he's supposed to be a Russian, but he keeps his Scottish accent in the whole movie, though. And for Red October, that's such a wild thing. It's like, I'm going to do this movie, but I'm not going to do a Russian accent.
Oh, I wasn't even close, man. That's great.
If you make me do a Russian, I'll go home and slap my wife.
What's your third pick?
It's going to be a Goldfinger.
Hey-oh!
The next
Couple of Bond movies right
James
there.
Bond movie. Look at that first face. That's the face he used when he slaps his wife.
You are really dead set on that, are you? Jesus Christ. I need to have Frank do more impersonations because it gets him a little bit goofy, and now he just loves talking about how he slaps his wife.
It'll make me slap my wife.
All right, Beard, what's your third and final pick?
Gotta go with The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Hey-oh!
His last movie ever.
Was that his last movie?
Yeah, that was the last one he did, and then that was it. He was done.
You know why he picked that movie, right?
Because of the pay?
Well, I believe he passed on Lord of the Rings because he didn't get it. And then all of a sudden, when that thing just blew up into this gigantic franchise, he was like, oh, so I should probably get in on one of these. And then that was the one he chose. He chose the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Such a weird movie.
All right, we do have some honorable mentions for Sean Connery. We do have Finding Forrester. We also have another one here that's going to be good with the accent. You ready? Say it, Frank.
The First Night of Camelot. I remember Just Cause. I don't know if you remember that movie with him and Lawrence Fishburne.
Right there.
The one thing that it was filmed in Miami, but one of the guys that he has a run-in with was the Burt Reynolds' friend that was the pig in Deliverance. I can't remember that actor's name. Ned Beatty.
Oh yeah.
And Ned Beatty was in the movie. He's a former Florida State football player. It's like there's like Florida State crap all around in the movie. Then he slapped his wife.
A few other honorable mentions here. Of course, you Can Only Live Twice, or You Only Live Twice. We have Time Bandits.
That movie, I remember watching it as a kid, and it intrigued me and scared me at the same time. Like, I didn't know what the hell was going on.
It's kind of like, do you remember The Adventures of Baron von Munchausen?
Yeah. Both those are the same, except, dude, that Time Bandits, as a kid, I used to freak out thinking, like, at any point I could just disappear in time and space.
By the way, what's going on here? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean,
it's an underwater fight scene. Get your head out.
Maybe it explains why he was slapping his wife.
Here you go. We need this one said in the Sean Connery voice, Frank.
The name of the Rouge. Do you have Dragonheart on here?
Oh God, of course.
Look, it's one of the Quage, not the crazy one.
Because he's the dragon in that, isn't he? Like, he's the voice of the fucking dragon.
See up the hill there? That's my wife, Donkey. I slap her in the face.
Jesus. All right, don't forget, we also have...
Yeah, Entrapment. The one that made every guy want Catherine Zeta-Jones, but Michael Douglas was already pounding.
The laser
that was
scene.
on my list.
The laser scene.
Yeah, the laser beam scene, where he's just, like, entranced by it.
Don't forget, you also have Diamonds Are Forever.
Yep.
He has a movie that has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it hasn't even been mentioned yet.
The Finding Bobby Fischer?
Well, we already did Finding Forrester.
What was the Bobby Fischer with the...
That was with Forrest Whitaker.
Was that Forrest Whitaker? Okay.
Yeah. Not to be confused with Finding Forrester.
I thought he was in a chess movie, too. I don't know.
I thought it was too.
Slap you.
The movie that has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Aha!
You know Darby O'Gill and the Little People?
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus. You can watch it on there. I remember watching it as a kid, and I watched it one more time. He even sings in the movie.
Yeah, the Banshee scene from Darby O'Gill and the Little People was one of the most terrifying things you could ever see as a child.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, it was terrifying. But I got to get to my final pick. Third and final one. I was really close on Darby O'Gill and the Little People just because it was such a fantastic movie, and it was a big part of my childhood. But I'm going to go...
From Russia with Love.
That is it. So here are our triple features. Frank has Dr. No, The Hunt for Red October, and Goldfinger. The Beard has Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, The Untouchables, and The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And I have The Rock, Highlander, and From Russia with Love.
Hello, Miss Pushy.
And on that note, that's going to do it for the stream. Beard, I appreciate you being here, my man.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me.
We're going to have to bring you back for the end of the college football season so that we can kind of give
you want me. If I'm not on the road, I'm here, buddy.
That's kind of what I was hoping, my man. So we'll reassess the college football picks. We'll probably bring them up here in the middle of the season as well. Make sure you're checking out the posts on Instagram or Facebook. Anna actually had mentioned, was it last week, that I had the one video that blew up for over 1 million views? I've had a couple more blow up. Like, Facebook, for some reason, like, it hit all of a sudden on some of my videos. And the interesting thing is, like let me see the stats here really quick.
You know what's so funny is I saw one of your videos. It was about the small penis thing, and it was like it was like very low on views. I was like, look, all these guys are scared to click on it because they thought about the small penis.
So if you don't know, if you never saw that video, so the whole thing was the small penis rule, and it's something that writers use to protect themselves from libel. So when they're writing a fictional book, if there's a character that can even be remotely related to somebody in the real world, they put in the book that they have a small dick. Because then in the real world, no guy is going to, because you have to prove without a shadow of a doubt that person, that character in that book is based on that person in real life. And no dude is going to be like, yeah, that's me. You know the guy that said that has a small dick? That's me. So that's the small penis rule. But yeah, so here on YouTube or on Facebook, over the past 28 days, I reached 5.7 million people.
Nice.
Sweet.
And the overall time view, now this is only the shorts that actually go up on Facebook. I don't put any of the longer content up there. But the overall minutes viewed of the past 28 days, 1,688 days.
Days.
And 10 hours worth. So, yeah, check out Facebook or
That's
Instagram.
A lot of Generation Z.
It is. I got those Gen Z kids. Oh, shit. And I totally forgot to bring this up. I got to bring this up before we go, too, because we talked about the Gen Alpha kind of lingo last week.
Mm-hmm.
And I put up the one post that was that referenced essentially. Oh, here we go. Are you familiar with the Gen Alpha language? And over on Facebook, a bunch of people commented on it. You could tell that they were Gen Alpha because the one that I put in there, I put that Sigma is basically the same thing as being an alpha, where you're a dominant leader and it's someone cool or popular. And all these kids have come in and they're like, Sigma's actually better than Alpha because in Alpha, you want to be the leader. Where Sigma, you're just cool and it kind of just comes to you.
Same thing, right?
And I'm like, Jesus Christ, man.
I ask him about that stuff all the time.
I started following this. I started following this guy on
In person.
No, I didn't. I just watched some of his videos on Instagram, and he does this thing where he will basically kind of throw in Gen Alpha language in front of his kids, and it just mortifies them. So I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to be like, yeah, that's skibbity. Right? Sigma. Oh, you're Ohio, bro.
Stop. Did you guys hear that from the chicken coop back there?
Hey, let him know you got Riz, man.
Yeah, they say I got the Riz, bro.
No, they don't.
Wait, so you're not Sigma?
Oh, I'm Sigma. I'm as Sigma as it comes. That's Ohio skibbity toilet back there.
All right, we're gonna totally have to do a live stream and just mortify the hell out of our kids. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for this live stream. Make sure to follow everything. It's at The Real Brandalorian, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, no TikTok because it's not worth my time. But make sure you guys are clicking the thumbs up down there. It definitely helps out the channel. Any of the videos that come in, make sure you're checking it out. 3 different reels/shorts drop every single day. So check that stuff out. Helps me out. Peace out, everybody. Thanks, Beard.
Make sure to slap your wife.
Only if
the
you
Sigma thing to do.
Only if you spit on your hand.